fringe of a larger herd. There was a larger herd of buffalo moving through this area, this rough area yesterday. I was hoping those Birmingham boys, the Five Lions, were going to be hot on their heels, but no sign of them thus far. Kathy from Arizona has just asked if I've been charged by an animal on drive, and the one-word answer to that question is yes. If you'd like to hear more in-depth stories, you're going to have to probably join in on some of our fireside chats. That's often a good platform for us to regale old tales of danger and excitement, because they are quite long stories. But the answer is yes, it can happen in the vehicle, on foot. It's not uncommon to be charged if you do spend day in and day out in the wilderness, but there are too many stories to start telling now regarding that subject. But to list some of the animals and not the stories themselves: buffalo, lion, leopard, white rhino, black rhino, hippopotamus, to name a few. Interestingly enough, the other day I was walking, following some leopard tracks, and I was in a big open clearing, and there was a warthog, an adult female warthog with a sub-adult youngster with her, just ones, but not even tiny babies. And she started giving me some serious attitude, and I was concerned at some stage that she was actually going to attack me. And I mean, I'd rather be attacked by a lion than a warthog, because it's quite embarrassing, I guess, to be attacked by a warthog. But it did get my mind going, and it's not unheard of for some of these smaller animals to charge and attack people, especially if they are young that they feel they need to protect. But thanks for that question, Kathy. And like I say, the fireside chats that I think we're going to be doing every Sunday evening will be a great platform for us to answer those questions, and there's a bit more time to get really in depth and emotive while jumping around the fireplace. Okay, we've got another question coming through from Rapid City, but this one is regarding parrots. And the parrots we do get in this area, I'm just going to get my book out, and that way I'll be able to show you exactly what we may be able to see here. There's one parrot that we see in this area, specific area, immediate area, but another two that we get in the Greater Kruger National Park. Now, Nadav's just going to try and focus in on this page that I've opened up to here. And the bottom three birds are clearly your parrots. And the one we get here is the brown-headed parrots. They're fairly common, but their habits and nature are a little bit difficult, make it difficult to view them. We will do our best to point them out to you. What I will be able to do a lot more easier easily rather, would be to point out their call. It's a typical parrot-like shriek that they let off as they're flying. So we hear them often and get fleeting glimpses of them flying, but when they land in the big fruit trees where they get their food, they are difficult to view. So this is the main one we get here, the brown-headed, but we also get the grey-headed and Mayor's parrots in different parts of the Kruger National Park, typically further north in the Kruger Park. What will be interesting to point out to you guys is I think we can actually find another map here. Bear with me, sorry. Where's that other map? So, this is the Kruger National Park. So, this is owned by the government. It's a national park that anybody has access to that can come on holiday in South Africa. You can rent a car and drive yourself through this park. Now, this is 300 kilometers long, which is 160 miles, 150 miles long, basically, and by about 20 to 30 miles wide, depending on the area. Now, where we find ourselves, we are nestled into this little square. Now, it's not shown, it's not marked green on this map because it's not officially the Kruger Park. This is the official Kruger Park. But there are no fences between us here in this area where my thumb is and the Kruger Park. So, just to give you an idea in relation to size and where that we are in the park, we're about a third of the way down. Everywhere east of this border here is Mozambique, and to the north we have Zimbabwe. So, just to give you a little bit of an idea of where we actually are on the map. And now if you look at a map of South Africa, we would be on the northeastern kind of border of South Africa. So there we go. I got a bit diverged from the parrots, but ooh, a few buffalo showing their strength behind us, having a little bit of a tussle. I'm just going to turn the vehicle around and hopefully we can get this awesome. Well spotted, my dove. Okay, come on. Awesome. Now, this is a situation that you don't see very often. I mean, it's not a full-blown fight at this stage. They're just sparring and practicing, you could say. But even though it's not a full-blown battle, it is great to see them showing their strength and how they can act when they are feeling a little bit more testosterone driven and worked up. I'm glad we got the end little glimpse of that, but we'll see if they don't start up again for us. Between those two individuals, as opposed to anything violent or sexually driven for mating. There's no females nearby, so I think that was just a friendly little tussle that we witnessed there. But again, you know, in these friendly little tussles, members will be able to understand who is more dominant than other males within the herd. Just like playing a social game of tennis with a friend, even though it's social, at the end of the game you'll realize who's better than who. And that's all useful information for these animals over time, so that they don't just end up permanently in these ridiculous aggressive fights when they know that they don't necessarily need to get that far because they are already dominant over a certain individual. Sally from Wisconsin, good morning and welcome. Currently, the closest monkeys you have a chance of seeing would be the one that's turning the steering wheel now, me. So, humans are the one form of primate that we get here. And in terms of the other monkeys, or primates, we have vervet monkeys, which are small grey monkeys, very cute, that live here. And the chakma baboon is another primate that we see. Look at the attitude this buffalo is giving us. We're just going to have to keep an eye on him, because they have been known to crash into vehicles. But he does have some serious attitude, this boy. Hey, what's going on? He was relaxed on our way in, but now on our way out, he's had a serious look of disgust in his eyes, and he wasn't happy with our behavior. Beautiful red-billed oxpecker. Seems to be feeding on a small wound on the top of his back, but the wound appears to have healed. You've always got to be ready for a little bit of excitement and danger out here, because like I say, buffalo have crashed into more than one vehicle over their time on the planet. So he just showed some real intent on this vehicle, and I thought we were going to have some potential action. This baby is a nocturnal primate. We sadly don't see many of them out here, but they do occur here, and they are just the cutest animal you'll ever see. They've got these massive eyes, they're incredible jumpers. So this, my friends, is a bush baby. Now you get different types in different areas, and a lot of different subspecies, but they all are very similar looking, and they have these massive eyes, which makes sense because they are nocturnal. And I mean, the ones we get in this area are small. They're probably 6 inches tall at the most, so they're very small, and they can spring like 9, 10, 12 feet from one thin branch to another in the middle of the night. It's incredible watching them. And as the scientific name suggests, Galago, there's a road around the camp called Galago after the bush baby, and that affirms that we do get bush babies in this area, but sadly we don't see many of them. Why, I'm not too sure. Obviously habitat is a problem, but I did share a theory that there were raging fires that came through this area about 10 years ago, and there's a theory that these fires just wiped out a lot of these bush babies as they went through, and they simply haven't recovered since then. But that is just a theory. When these hot thermals kick in, whereas there's been some other mornings where it's as late as 9 o'clock, which means the drive is finished, and there are no raptors in the sky. I'm not entirely sure what that one is. Imagine being able to float up there silently and effortlessly with binocular vision. Peter Pretoria says if he could choose one animal to have on game drive to assist him, it would be a bird of prey.